Ruben Palace, rapper. Congratulations, guys. Patrick, Amazon was, in your own words, wonderfully crazy to let you make the show that you want to make. So, for both of you, when Amazon said yes, go ahead, what were the first things that immediately came to your mind?
Terror. No, I'm being slightly cheeky. You know, but there was an element of it's scary because I think we take this responsibility really seriously. This material is so beloved by so many people, and they hold it so dear to them. You know, to even think about touching the hem of its garment is scary. But when you have that feeling, maybe it's a good scare because it really makes you go like, okay, we gotta step up to this. We gotta be ready for this.
I think with Amazon, they were so supportive that I just kept thinking, okay, well, we can't screw it up, and if we do, it's our fault, because they were really supportive of what we wanted to do, and they were excited about what we wanted to do. They're such a culturally ambitious company, I think a very forward-looking company, and they were excited to try something bold. And when you have that kind of backing from a studio, which is not always easy to find, it's our fault if it doesn't work. So we have to deliver, and hopefully people feel we have.
The Tolkien material is just immense. And yet, at least based on the two episodes I saw, you have managed to come up with a show that is both an epic, a mega epic, and a human story. So, how did you start to
you.
come up with that balance?
Really good question. We talk about this a lot. You know, Middle Earth is vast. Middle Earth is beautiful. We associate Tolkien with the epic. But Tolkien is an incredibly emotional storyteller. And I think, JD, my co-writer, and I really wanted to honor that. We wanted a big canvas show. And we felt that that's what the material demanded. And we had to, meet that. But we know that what's actually going to make it feel big and expansive is how it touches you here. And in casting every one of these actors and in, working on every single one of these scenes and these relationships and, just a small example, we spent a lot of time designing the world of the Harfoots and, finding that a beautiful patch of forest where the show begins. They migrate, as they might have indicated. And so there's other places they go as well. But just that one took an enormous amount of time and wonderful artists designing it. But just as much time was spent on Nori, Markella Kavanaugh's character, and Poppy, Megan Richards' character, and developing the relationship between them and that patter between them and their mannerisms that would tell the story of how close this friendship is. Because you can have the most beautiful set in the world, in the greatest location in the world, with the coolest designs in the world, and if there isn't, a big beating heart at the center of it, you never hope to deliver what Tolkien was delivering, because his stories are all very, very emotional, and his characters are authentic, and it's about relationships, and I think the show is as well.
Very well said. I think that's what makes Tolkien so timeless, is that simple human truth and authenticity. And so it's nice that it's wrapped up in this grand, sweeping, epic adventure, but at the heart of it is just the basic human stuff we all go through.
You have devoted almost 5 years of your life to this project. So,
So
for each of you, can you cite one highlight from those 4.5 years? And how does it feel to reach this stage?
I have to go to riding in a helicopter with skeleton crew and 3 or 4 actors on the South Island of New Zealand, up through the clouds to the top of Mount Kidd, this incredible mountain with 360-degree views, where if the clouds covered us, we would have had to have hiked out for 3 days. It's the only way out. And it was the first day for Cynthia Ade Robinson, who plays the Queen Regent of Numenor, who you'll meet in the 3rd episode, and Lloyd Owen, who plays Elendil, who you'll meet in the 3rd episode. And we were all absolutely mind blown by the beauty of this place. And Ismael Cruz Cordova, who you met, he plays Arondir, an elf from down in the Southlands, stepped out of the helicopter and immediately burst into tears. And he said, "Oh my God, we're in Middle Earth." That was a pretty high watermark moment, pun intended. My partner is good with puns, so he's not here. I'll try to pitch him in. How does it feel to be at this stage? We're really in the deep end of the pool here, all of us, and it's exciting and scary, and we just hope that people find something to connect to in the show. So much love has gone into it. I hope people feel that.
Lindsay?
I have many favorite moments from season 1, but there's one that stands out in my mind. There's a scene later in the season that you haven't seen yet between Morvith Clark's character Galadriel and Tyro Hophidin's character. and Theo, and it was a night scene, which means I was standing there at 3:00 in the morning in the woods, and there happened to be 50, 60 orcs on set holding torches, and I don't know if it's the delirium of being awake all day and all night, but the magic of that intimate scene between the two of them, I had that feeling of like, I can die happy if nothing else. If this scene goes in the show, it will be special, because what they did there was amazing. It's maybe my favorite moment of the
I
whole.
think it might. Yeah, that's a good one.
And got to be with all of these crazy orcs running around too.
What's also impressive about this project is the massive assembly of international talent. As an example of that, can you talk about tapping Wayne Yip to direct 4
Yes.
episodes, and what did he bring to the series?
Wonderful question.
Yeah,
Do
love
you
Wayne.
wanna?
Yeah, so we, early on, we're looking for who would direct these episodes. It's no small task, and we knew I think when we hired Wayne, we knew we had Jay Bayona doing the first 2 episodes, which was wonderfully such a warm filmmaker, as Patrick was saying earlier. It's such a big part of Tolkien, and we needed somebody, but he could only do the first 2, and we needed somebody to take over, and that is a very difficult transition. As you leave the first block, that some TV shows might be the biggest. Wasn't true for us. They're all that big, and that director was going to have the task of introducing Numenor for the first time ever on camera, and so it was a really special search. And we had seen Wayne's work and were admirers and met him, and it was clear that the Legendarium meant something to him. It means something to him. He grew up in Oxford, and the way he spoke about it just made us feel like, okay, he's one of us. He understands what we're trying to do. And then we just got into talking about story with him, and he has a great reputation for being a hard worker and a lovely collaborator, which is also important to us.
I think he also
And-
really loves genre, and he
Yeah,
comes with a real passion. And
Yeah.
when the 3rd episode comes around, I hope you see it, and you'll see there's a visual imagination, and he's sort of making Middle Earth weird again, and he introduces Numenor in a way that is just, some of our favorite stuff.
Glorious.
It's
Yeah,
glorious. It's
beautiful.
amazing.